Good morning, everyone. My name is Madin Chauhan. I'm an assistant professor at KIET Group of Institution, Ghaziabad. I hope you all will be fine at your homes. So this video series, that is a simple profile saving web application, is specially designed to train and make you capable to design JSP based web applications. So during this video series, you will learn making of HTML pages, that is HyperText markup language. With the help of this language, you can design your simple basic web pages. Can be run on your desktop with the help of a software that's name is web browsers. Second, the Java language description. Then we'll move to the server-side programming, which is required to run your web application so that it can be accessible for all the users. To make the web pages dynamic, we need a database where we can store, where we can create the tables, where we can store the data, and we can access the data from the database tables. Then the fifth one is the web server. So during this topic, we'll learn the installation and configuration of any specific web browser. So for this specific video lectures, I will use the XAMPP web server. So at the last, assembling of all the above stated technologies and making a full-fledged running project. Right. So let's start with the basic one, that is the HTML. So HTML is a hypertext markup language, which is very useful to design the static pages. So it is very simple, very elegant language which anyone can use to design their beautiful static pages. So HTML is a language used to create the web pages. Obviously, we already use this statement. So, but this language is combinations of two points. The first keyword is your hypertext, and the second keyword is the markup language. So let's start with the hypertext. So hypertext refers to the hyperlinks that an HTML page may contain. So this statement is stated that, for example, whenever you log in or you open the Google page, there are some hyperlinks. Like if you want to open the Gmail, so there is a button or a link for the Gmail. If you want to sign in, if you want to search for something, there is a specific search button. So these links or these buttons immediately redirect you to the next pages. So if I want to open a Gmail main page or login page with the help of the Google page, so there is a hyperlinks. So the hypertext basically refers to the hyperlinks that an HTML page may contain. Similarly, the second keyword, that is a markup language, that is refers to the way texts are used to define the page layout and elements within the page. So markup language is directly referred to the text. So HTML is purely a tag-based language. So there are specially designed tags, and each and every tags are unique and they are directly appointed for a specific task. So let's see what is the meaning of these tags and how we can create the tags, and how with the help of these tags how we can create a very simple basic HTML page. Okay, so for making the first HTML page, the very first basic HTML page, we need to learn some few tags. So here you can see the tags like the HTML head, title, body, heading text, paragraph, and the form text are given. So what are the meaning of these tags? So every HTML page should be started with HTML tag, and there should be, or respectively there should be an ending tag. So always the ending tag are showing with // So this is showing the complete HTML code. So your first HTML page should be started with the HTML opening tag and always closing with the closing tag. So in the closing tag there is a /. Similarly, the HTML page contains the two parts. The first is your header part, so that is showing with the head tag and closing with the head tag. So there is a two part. So it means we can divide this HTML code into the two parts, the head and the body. Right. So header, that includes the information about your computer or your system. So what are the information containing when you request for a specific request? Like when I open the Google, so what kind of a network or which particular IP address I am using. So all the relative information are keeping by these header tags. So under the header tag there is a title page. So whenever you open your Google page, you can see on the tab of your web browser, you can see the name of your web page. So with the help of the title, if you want to display something different like my web application, so if I use this tag, this is the value containing by the title opening tag and closing by the title closing tag. Similarly, now the body part, so it is the main part. So whatever the information it is containing by these body part will only be available for display on your web browser. So let's start with, let's suppose the heading. So there are the different heading tags, H1, H3, H4, H5 and H6. So H1 is stated with a very broader way of the font, and it's slightly decremented from 1 to 6 values. So which particular heading or what kind of font you want, so you can use that particular heading. So let's suppose the heading of my H1 of this page is my first web page, right? So if you want to use something like the paragraph, if you write something like what I am and why I am here, so you can write any paragraph under the paragraph P tag. So let's suppose I am Naveen Chauhan, assistant professor, KIET group of institutions, Ghaziabad. Right. So let's suppose this is one of the paragraph, and this paragraph must be enclosed under the starting of the opening P tag and closing by the P tag. Right. So let's save this one. So for saving this first web application, you need to note down this save as. Let's suppose I want to save it on my desktop. Yes. So once we save it, your name, you can give any name to your page. So my web, so please note down this, it is myweb.html. So it must be ended by .html tag. So it must be enclosed by double quotes. So myweb.html. So please note down this. The extension of this file should be .html. Right? Just going here. So the name of this file is myweb.html. You can use any name. Let's suppose myweb, not mypage.html. Any kind of name you can use for your file, but the extension should be .html. Right? So I'm saving it here. So opening the open any web browser and just either double click on the file which is generated and saved it on the desktop. So when I double click it on, so on the web browser it is showing the my first web page, and I am Naveen Chauhan, assistant professor, KIET group of institution. Even you can change it any moment, let's suppose my first web page heading is too big, so I'm using the h3 tag, so there should be corresponding closing tag. Yes, you need to save it. Okay, good. Save and just refresh this page immediately, my first web page. Now suppose I want to include hyperlinks, so I'm just putting one link for the Google page, and whenever I click on this link, so I'm putting one Google link, so whenever I click on the Google link, a new Google page will be open. So for this, there is a tag name is A, and it is the anchor tag, right? So I'm putting it here, so you cannot use it like this. So if it is an anchor tag corresponding to closing, there is a need for reference. So reference is http google.com. Actually, it is the complete address where the Google page can be accessible, right? And it is Google, right? So let me save it and with again refresh it. Yes, so there is a Google link. Let's click out on Google. You will be redirected to the Google page. Just wait. Yes, easily we are successfully reaching to the Google. Just go back. Now let's suppose I want to place my picture over the my first web page. So I'm just using the break line. BR is used for breaking the line. If you want to write anything on the next line, so use the BR tag. So for placing the image, there is a tag img. Corresponding, there should be a closing tag. So SRC is for source, whatever you want to display and from where the file will be getting. So you can get your file with the help of SRC attribute, and the file name is 34982.jpg. Either you can use JPG or JPEG, both are the same. So I'm just using the attribute width and the height to make a frame for width is 140 pixels and the height is 80 pixels. Immediately the attribute is alt for alternate attribute. If suppose the particular file is not available on the server or on your system, a alternate tag message will be displayed, right? So let's save it with the help of again with the save button, and yes, refresh this. Yeah, this is my picture. So even you can extend the width and the height. So if I'm extending the height, save it and refresh it. Yes. Okay, so for making a very simple basic form that includes your name, that gives you the space like the text fields or the text area, you can write your name, your basic details like your class and which class you are reading, or the city where you are living, and it might be containing the password. So there is a tag that is the form, right? Similarly, there must be a ending tag. So in between these form tags, all the related information should be keyed so that it can create a form. So I'm just plugging, so you can see it started with the form tag. Then there are the two attributes, method and action, that will be discussed later because that is not the right moment to understand these features. So to just display anything, you can use the label tags. Similarly, for displaying the class, you can use this. So there is a one point to create a text field where you can write anything. You can use the input type. Similarly, for the class name, I'm using the input type. Simply for the button, I'm using the input type is button. So if you are using a button, if you want to create some button, you can use the buttons. Right? Save. Refreshing it, you can see here it is a name, class, and city. Thank you.